What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Today is the 23rd of October, and we'll be going over the price action on Nasdaq 100. So let's get right into it. So today we had a bullish uptrend day, reversing the price action of yesterday, and it looks like we're heading back for the all-time highs. Now, I was expecting a sell-off today, and so I took sells. Managed my risk, and I lost a little under 0.5% on the trades that I took. Well, it was one trade, but I took like 2 or 3 entries. So today we opened up with a little bit of a gap. We traded down, and then we just rallied pretty much all day. So currently we are back up to almost all-time highs, and it looks like we are heading back for that liquidity to the upside because we have equalized up here on the NQ futures. So currently tomorrow is CPI. Not expecting much of a move tonight for London. We might trade back down and then continue up, or we might just consolidate until tomorrow and see where price takes us. But currently we traded right back up into the all-time highs. Same thing on the S&P 500 and almost the same thing on US 30, Dow Jones. Didn't quite make it back up there, and we didn't close at the extreme high of the day. But yeah, that's what happened on the daily time frame. Going down to the 4 hour time frame, um, we opened opened right around here with a little bit of gap up, as I say, or a gap down, and we just manipulated back below that gap, and then we went all the way back up to the all-time highs, or heading towards the all-time highs. The drawn liquidity was back to the upside. I thought we would have came back down for these equal lows and expected a further sell-off, but that wasn't the case today at all. Going down to the 1 hour time frame. So see, overnight, because we opened here, let's see if I can find the correct template. So we opened right around here, traded down, came back up, and then kind of consolidated um through midnight in London. We sold off, came all the way down to here, and then now we ran this low. This was Asia's low, and then we just went back to the upside. I was expecting us to trade back up into here, maybe take this liquidity of the internal highs here, and then come back down, or even if we trade it a little bit up into this high right here, and then continue down to take this low and then this low. But this candle is the one that I took the sell on. It had a bit of a manipulation on this end, but I was still expecting us to close back bearish. So I took the sales anticipating that we would have continued down, but that wasn't the case, and that is okay. Now going down to the 15-minute time frame, so you can see my executions here, and as I say, I only lost like 0.5%. So let me refresh this part. So See, during London session, we traded up here, took these highs from London, and we just sold off. Now we had took these lows, these internal lows. I wasn't up, so I didn't catch these buys during. I don't remember which macro I'll go to trading view and look, but this reversal happened inside of a macro, and we just went straight up. New York opened right around here in one of these candles, and we just traded right up. Respected a few value gap that had here on the 30 minutes as well as the 1 hour. So the sales that I took, were here. So this candle had closed bearish after we ran the highs. I went into profit here. This one traded back up after the manipulation. I took the sell. But I took the sell from the 5 minute candle here, and then the 15 minute went down. All of this I was in profit, but it just reversed everything. I got out up here at the highs when I realized that price action is bullish. However, we came back down and then went higher. I took a buy here and I just decided, you know what, let me not chase this thing. Let me just call it a day because I was distracted at work, so I couldn't monitor the price action. If I had gotten a better entry inside of here, then I would have gotten a better risk to reward, and I might have could have partial with a bit of profit. Um, didn't feel anyway. I was a bit flustered because I could have managed to trade better, but nevertheless, it was still a good trade overall. Now we came all the way down and went all the way up, and then we just pretty much consolidated and build structure going up for the rest of the day. Now on trading view, let's see if I can actually pull up this chart. Go down to the 5 minute and find US 100. So these were the internal highs that got run, and this was what I was expecting. It was right inside of the right up inside of the 950 to 1010 macro. So I expected that the candle that opened at 10 o'clock here would have manipulated up and we would have sold and closed down here. Now the sell off didn't give us much of a continuation. Didn't give us a continuation. So the entry, it actually sold 70 something points inside this macro before we managed to reverse. So we just took the liquidity below this smooth body candle that pushed us up from 930 open, and the buys too were valid. The buys from this 8 would have been 850 to 910 macro. This was valid. Also, we had this order block here. They want to use this or this. We respected this and we just took off for the majority of the this macro. So buys here, could have entered buys here, or after this inversion right around here, could have entered buys is stop below here, targeting these highs and then these highs, continue up. I wasn't able to monitor for the rest of the day, like I said, and that is the reason why I didn't take any more trades, because once I realized the price action is bullish, I could have flipped my bias, but I just decided to call it a day rather than to take any more trades. Even in the PM session, we just consolidated and just went up. So this could have been another entry for the buyers after we came back down here to cut these lows and went right up. So this could have been a nice trade. We traded into the 1150 to 1210 macro. then into the lunch hour, and the PM session gave us a nice push as well, or the after lunch. This PM session, the 2 p.m., we didn't have much of a volume because the US government is still shut down. The federal government is still shut down. We don't have much drivers to drive the market, and that is why we're kind of consolidating, and this price action is kind of spiky. So the volatility is still a bit high, but not as high as these last couple of days. So see here we had this fair value gap that we actually respected, fair value gap, and this would have been a order block that we respected and just went up. So inside of this macro here, a nice little scalp. We came back down here inside of it and managed to get this push to end the day. So this was the last macro for the day, and it's pretty much sideways movement on this time frame. Maybe on the 1 minute it shows a bit more of a uptrend. Let's see if I can get the 1 minute. So yeah, it's a bit more of a uptrend on the 1 minute time frame. Got entries inside of here. Right inside of here, would have gotten some entries and targeting these highs. So bit of a sideways movement for the PM session, bit of a consolidation, but nevertheless would have been a nice session. If you know what to look for, we in premium too. So in this range, it's premium, so I wouldn't have expected to take any buys. And at unless it's a small scalp, risking small, then I wouldn't be forcing any trades here. And I already lost like 0.5%. Not much, that's my normal risk. If I get continuation, then I normally add into the trade, but right now that is what happened. So no continuation here. I was in the trade for the entirety of this move. My entry also wasn't the cleanest, but as I think I entered at the low of this candle, so my stops were all the way up here, and I was targeting the lows all the way down here. So it would have been a nice trade. I would have made probably about a 2% if the trade had played out and I close right here. Somewhere there before we even ran the highs, because I realized we flipped bullish and we're respecting this OB. The macro had ended and we didn't get any price action to confirm that we were going lower. So using this breaker, I realized that we're going higher. So I just decided to continue with the bullish price action and not take any more trades because it wasn't matching my original bias. So that is what happened for today's price action. Like I said, tomorrow CPI, I don't know if we get anything else. And gold, we just go back to the higher time frame. And gold, we just pretty much traded back up. Where is it? So after this massive sell off, see if I can find it. And 5 minutes should be a bit quick. So, and gold, this was the entry during the PM session last night. We went straight up during Asia. Well, this is New York PM, and during Asia we went all of this upside. During London, still more upside during the macros. Bit of a consolidation here. Came down, set this low, and continued higher. And at New York Open, we just kind of chopped around before selling off, and then yeah, that is pretty much it. But at the cleanest price action here, I think oil was the one that gave us a bit more of a trend. I think EU EU and GU also was a bit choppy, so not the cleanest price action. But there are trades, however. If you're using the ICT strategy and you know how to approach the market in the macros and things, then you can find some good trades. But you have to be watching these charts very precisely. Now, that is it for today's video. I'll catch you guys on the next one. See what happens tomorrow. Peace.